Hello everyone, welcome to Black Story of Malaysia. I am Muhammad Nuran Jamulin. As your host, we're going to talk about North Korea. Yes, North Korea. I know this is going to be the hot topic for my IOP. North Korea, as we all know, that this nation are usually create uncommon event which end up going to affect others, including our nation. That is Malaysia. 9 March 2021, while the disease of COVID-19 is still ongoing as global pandemic, there was a political event or tragedy where North Korea Republic has cut the ties between Malaysia and North Korea. And source from the news Checks Time, the Malaysia government has declared North Korean Republic staff and their dependents persona non grata and ordered them to leave the country within the 48 hours. The latter extradition of the North Korean individual Moon Chol-myong, guilty for money laundering to United States of America. So to explain more details, like we start to dig the information based on the chronology event between the relationship of Malaysia and North Korea. So North Korea signs the diplomatic relationship with Malaysia on the 1973 and opens its embassy in Malaysia. While on the 1995, Malaysia used the opportunity to continue their further relationship by hosted the talks between North Korea and United States over the former nuclear program. And then on 2004, Malaysia opened its embassy in Pyongyang, North Korea. For about 5 years after the event, on 2009, it began the greater engagement of North Korea and Malaysia. Malaysia allowed to travel to North Korea without visa and rise the economy between the imports-export North Korea and Malaysia. And then North Korea able to work in Malaysia. Furthermore, North Korea Airlines allows to fly to Kuala Lumpur. So that's a timeline here. This is pinnacle glory of between Malaysia and North Korea. So how the conflict still happen. So let's dig more information by going into the 8 years from 2009, and that is 2017. So on February 13, 2017, Kim Jong-nam, aka Kim Jong-un's half-brother, was assassinated at the Kuala Lumpur International Airport KLIA using the VX nerve agent. On the 4 March 2017, North Korean ambassador Kang Chul was declared persona non grata on the spell within the 48 hours for disparaging the murder investigation, and 2 days later, on 6 March, the visa-free entry for North Korean has been revoked. On the 7 March 2017, North Korea stopped all 9 Malaysian citizens in the country from leaving. Then, Malaysia reacted to the situation by forbidding North Korean citizens from entering or leaving the country. So, at 18 March 2017, all stranded Malaysian citizens and North Korean allowed to return to their respective countries, along by the following negotiation between two nations, and then the return of the Kim Jong-nam's body. At the 12th June 2018, the Prime Minister of Tun Dr. Mahathir Mohamad was quoted as saying that Malaysia will open its embassy in Pyongyang again, and then end the diplomatic war. But in the end, there was no change in the status quo between Malaysia and North Korea. By the 9 March 2021, Kuala Lumpur High Court rejects North Korean businessman Moon Chol-myong appeal from being extradited to the United States of America on money laundering charges. And then the 19 March 2021, Pyongyang announces it will end diplomatic ties with Kuala Lumpur due to court's decision. Malaysia responded saying it deeply regrets North Korea's decision and denounced it as unfriendly and unconstructive. Irrespecting the spirit of the mutual respect and good neighborly relations among members of the international community. Malaysia said will also issue an order for all the diplomatic staff and their dependents at the North Korean embassy in Kuala Lumpur to leave the country within the 48 hours. Timeline I got is from the source of the Manama TV. So based on the impact of the conflict of between the Malaysia and the North Korea, based on the 20 March, based on news Manama TV of 20 March 2021, our finance minister has said that Sri Tunku Zafrul Abdul Aziz to cut the ties between the North Korea doesn't give any impact to the country as their contribution to Malaysia economy are very small. From the article source of the Sandeli University of Technology Malaysia Geostrategist, Prof. Dr. Azmi Hassan said, there is hardly any trade between the two countries and there is literally no people-to-people ties. He said trade was already nearly nil before the assassination of Kim Jong-nam. And then, nutshell, I think from the situation here, nuclear weapon country North Korea took this as a dim view about the relation between Malaysia and the solution are barely as the global problem. Need to cut diplomatic ties between North Korea and Malaysia as they because these individually are legally guilty, executed by the top court. Furthermore, some experts say cutting ties between Malaysia was a way of showing anger U.S. new administration without jeopardizing an eventual return to nuclear negotiation with Washington, and also show the anger of the assassination of Kim Jong-nam. That's it from me. Thank you very much.